So I would like to call the August 15th meeting of the Honolulu Youth Commission to order at 4:58. And then can the secretary start with the attendance roll call?
Yeah, okay. So the way this works, I'm just gonna call your last name. If you can just say here or present, whatever. Okay. Commissioner Carranza.
Here.
Commissioner Zidek. Commissioner Shimizu.
Here.
Commissioner Shea. Here. Thank you. Commissioner Soon.
Here.
Commissioner Duran. Commissioner Mishina.
Here.
Commissioner Azama.
Ill.
Commissioner Balidoy. He's on Zoom. And if you're on Zoom, if you can unmute yourself and say here, but I see you're here. Commissioner Campbell.
Here.
Commissioner Ho.
Here.
Commissioner Lim.
Here.
Okay, so we have 11 present.
So quorum was established with 11 commissioners present. I would like to open the floor to any members of the public for testimony. If there is none, moving on to the approval of minutes. Does anyone motion to make amendments or pass the minutes for the July meeting?
A motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting.
Is there any seconds?
Second.
Who's that?
Second.
So what was your last name?
Carranza.
Thank you.
So the minutes have been approved and adopted. Okay, moving on to the guest speakers portion of today's meeting. This is a good time for new commissioners, even returning commissioners, to quickly introduce themselves and who you were appointed by and anything you find relevant. So I can start. My name is Charlotte Campbell. I'm currently the chair of the Youth Commission. I was vice chair prior to this meeting, and I was vice chair for the last year. I'm currently a senior at Honolulu School, and I'm really excited for what the commission can do in the future.
Hi, I'm Lindsey. I was the assistant secretary last term, and this is my second year on the commission. I'm a student at West Oahu.
Hi, my name is Riley Mishina. I'm going to be an incoming sophomore at Honolulu School. I got appointed by Val Komodo, a part of District 8.
Hi, I'm Kamana Shea. I go to Iolani and I'm going to 8th grade, and I was appointed by Councilmember Say.
Hello, I'm Diego. I was appointed by Councilmember Wire. I graduated a year early from Lelahua, so right now I'm working full-time with HCAP.
Aloha. So my name is Bronson. Hail from Hi'i'ia on the windward side. Third year on the commission now, final year, and a mayoral appointee as well.
My name is Asa Shimizu. I'm also a sophomore, going to be a sophomore at Honolulu, and I was appointed by Council Chair Waters.
My name is Con Ho. I'm an incoming junior at Honolulu School, and I'm a mayoral appointee.
Hi, I'm Colton. I'm probably one of the oldest, if not the oldest. I just graduated from UCLA, and I'm in District 6, so I was appointed by Tyler.
Hello, my name is Esther. I'm a junior at Lelahua High School, and I was appointed by the mayor.
Was there any other guest speakers for the meeting?
So I gave everyone my card. I'm Josh Prager. I'm a management analyst here in the managing director's office. So I'm actually relatively new over here. Actually, before I was with the information technology department. So my background is more the technology side of things. I'm trying to learn more the political and commission side of things as well. So I may not always have the answer to your questions immediately, but if you give me some time, I'll get back to you guys and give you the answers you need, hopefully. Normally we also have another analyst here, Kevin Wong. He knows a bit more about how commissions and committees work, so He'll more often than not have an answer if I don't have it. He's currently out though, so he should be here for the next meeting. Again, anytime you guys have questions, feel free to reach out to me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Thank you.
So that's it for the guest speakers portion. Moving on to old business. Is there any social media updates from the secretary?
Yeah, so pretty much the only thing is I contacted some of the retired commissioners, the people who just left before you guys, and asked them if they want to share anything on our Instagram. So we're really trying to just get more posts up there, so I thought a good thing would be a farewell message for them, kind of how just inspire other people to get involved, if not joining, just coming to our meetings and stuff. So that's one thing hopefully we'll get a couple posts of. But yeah, outside of that, just the general idea that although the secretaries kind of handle the Instagram account, you guys all have the opportunity to make posts for it, and we highly encourage that just so we're more active and not the secretaries have to make everything. So if you write a resolution you want to share out, you can make a post advertising what that was about and why you made it, stuff like that. Oh yeah, and one more thing actually, we're gonna do an introduction post for all you new people. So I'll email you guys a Google form to fill out after this meeting.
Do you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
And if you don't want to be posted to on Instagram, just for privacy reasons, just let me know and we don't need to post yours.
Okay. Is there anything regarding the Honolulu Youth Commission survey that we have? Any updates?
Just that I asked Josh before this meeting, I forgot to ask him earlier, but he's gonna try to help post the link to the survey on our website. So we currently only advertise it on our Instagram, and we got a few responses in the beginning, but we haven't been really advertising it again, though we want it to be a continuous thing. So we're gonna try advertise that again, and then also have it on the website, so it's just on different platforms. But yeah, that's something we're trying to use to just get input from the public, and then we can all have access to the responses and look at that to shape what kind of projects we want to do, or just get general ideas of what people care about. So it's a mix of multiple choice, what issues do you think are important, and then also free response kind of stuff. So I'll also share that with you guys after the meeting, the results for that.
So that's just been something that has been up on our Instagram for a couple months now. And we've gotten a slow and steady response, especially from young people, which is really nice to hear from. Regarding commissioner initiatives, that's also something that we started a couple meetings ago, and that was something that Assistant Secretary Millard also took over. And it was just a Google Doc that we all have access to, kind of to just keep ourselves accountable. And so we kind of all detailed something that we felt most passionate about in our community, and then we kind of wrote it on the Google Doc. Then we talked about it at the meeting after, all of the initiatives that we chose to kind of express interest into. So we had a good discussion as a commission regarding those initiatives, and then it's definitely helped for us to put out more resolutions about that. So that'll also be something that'll be shared with you new commissioners that you guys can fill out, and then we can have a discussion about that at the September meeting. Because the main thing that we try to do on the Youth Commission, or that we're trying to move towards doing, is having resolutions put out every meeting. So I know for this meeting we didn't have any, so that's something we're going to try to work on, is having at least one per meeting. And then also in the past, and I just had a conversation with Krishna about it, but not just putting out resolutions, but actually seeing where they go and seeing the impact that we make in our community is also a big one that we're going to try and work on in this cycle. So that was it regarding old business. We just had a returning member step in, so this is Clark. He can introduce himself.
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone, my name is Clark. I was actually appointed by Radiant Cordero for District 7. Just like you, I'm pretty new to all of this. I was just appointed last year along with Acting Chair Campbell and Commissioner Lindsey Millard. a little bit about me is that I actually go to Farrington High School. What I noticed was there's we need a lot of like voices in the youth commission, a lot of experience from different locations, and I think that we have to try and be like the leaders of our community. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to join the youth commission. I think that's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So that was everything regarding old business. Moving on to the elections portion of today's meeting. So on the Youth Commission, if you all want to take a look at the bylaws, we currently have positions for Assistant Secretary, Secretary, First Vice Chair, Second Vice Chair, and Chair. So every new session that we start, elections do take place. So if we wanted to get rolling on that. So do we want to do chair? So we can do elections for chair first. Since I was running for.
Oh yeah.
So is there any nominations for people to be chair?
I nominate Charlotte Campbell.
Okay, I humbly accept this nomination, and since I am going to be running in the election for chair, I will hand over the gavel to Assistant Secretary Millard for the time being.
Okay. Is there anyone else that would like to run for chair? I think you can also elect yourself.
You can, yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can also elect yourself if you'd like.
And then, okay. So, just to give you guys a little bit more about me. So, like I said, I'm a senior at Punahou this year. The last session that we had, I put out 3 resolutions. The first was encouraging disability access to beaches. So just increasing the number of wheelchair access points that we have to beaches. I noticed that was a big issue, especially on the North Shore. I go there a lot, so I saw a lot of kupuna in our community struggling with that, so I put out a resolution regarding that. I recently just passed one encouraging the Honolulu Police Department to increase the number of JPO programs that we have around the island. I believe that 20 schools currently don't have any programs. And then in the recent death of the young teenager who passed away crossing the street, I thought that was something that was necessary. And then at our last meeting, I just put out a resolution encouraging before grants are given out for surfing contests to ensure that prize money for both male and female divisions is equal. So I hope to help bring us all together and lead into a good session. If you want to take over the voting.
Yeah, so now we'll get into the voting. Do I actually have to go one by one, or could I just go like anyone opposed?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, yeah, just to speed things up, I'll just say like all those in favor say aye, and if there's any opposing say nay, and then if there are nays, we'll like go to voting after that. Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Okay, the ayes have it, and Charlotte is our chair for this term. Yay!
Okay, so moving on to the vice chair election, does anybody have any nominations for the position of first vice chair? I would like to nominate Bronson Azama. He is also currently the first vice chair of the commission. If you accept.
Yeah, I'll accept.
Okay. Okay. Is there?
Did we have to talk about that actually? I saw it in the because it's like optional to have the position.
Was there any other nominations? Okay, same procedure. Is everybody who supports say aye?
Aye.
Oh, sorry. Did you want to say anything?
Oh yes.
No,
Say
I'm good.
something.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
little blur.
you've done
Let's
so
all do a
much.
little blur.
I'm the kook on the commission. But yeah, so I was actually the chair for the inaugural commission. So stepped down so we could do the circular, continue to have more people have the opportunity to be the chair. Just super happy to add any like insights or if anybody has questions about what to do. For me, the way I look at it though, like I only represent myself. I can't represent others. Only those who so choose to represent, who so choose to allow me to represent them, which is why I heavily rely on being involved in different community organizations, youth organizations, just to broaden perspective. And I highly encourage the same for like each and every one of you as you're going about this journey. Hard to know what the needs are if we're not working directly in the community and seeing the needs and helping out in the solution. So if you ain't part of the problem, then hopefully you're part of the solution. So just really encourage that and look forward to now being more present now that I'm back. So to just help in any way that I can. Yeah, mahalo.
Thank you. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody that opposes? Okay, great. And then if you take a look at your bylaws, it actually says that we do need to talk and discuss as a commission if we're gonna have a second vice chair. This is something that we started doing, I believe, last session. I don't think we had it on the inaugural commission, but we found it to be really beneficial to the commission. So does anybody oppose having a second vice chair? No? Okay. So that is a motion that has been made. There will be a second vice chair. And then, does anybody have any nominations for this position? I would like to nominate Assistant Secretary Miller for the position. Do you have anything you would like to say?
Yeah, I'll give a quick word. So yeah, last year was my first year on the commission, and I was the assistant secretary. So my main role was doing like social media kind of stuff, and yeah, I definitely want to get more into like the business end of doing stuff for the commission, and not only the minutes and social media. And I think being in a vice chair role, you kind of just have the opportunity to help the chair with whatever. If there's events or like outreach kind of stuff you want to do, that's kind of a good role to be into. And yeah, I'm just willing to help out in any way I can and help you guys however you need to. So yeah, thank you.
Okay. All those in favor of having Assistant Secretary Millard as our second vice chair, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay. And then moving on to the secretary position. Does anybody have any nominations for that?
Okay, I nominate Clark.
Did you have anything you wanted to say, Clark?
Yeah. So it was just my first time serving in the youth commission. What I chose to do on the first time that I got here was that I allowed the people that were actually still here that probably didn't get the opportunity to run for any officer positions, and because of that, I feel like doing that, I allowed myself to learn more about what the youth commission really is. And now that I've done a year of it, I feel that stepping in as an officer would probably allow me to learn more than what I did when I wasn't in an officer position.
Thank you, Clark. Moving on to the voting. Everyone in support, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay, Clark is now our new secretary. And then moving on to the position of assistant secretary. So assistant secretary is just the person that is gonna help out with meeting minutes, taking notes during the meetings, kind of administrative tasks, helping out with the social media pages of the commission, and then Yeah, pretty much. That's everything. Just helping out the secretary and the other officers in position. So definitely step up and nominate yourself, nominate somebody else. I highly encourage it. I know that when I first ran on the commission, I was very nervous to take a position of leadership, but it definitely is worth it. And there's a lot of people here, not only on the youth commission, but also in the managing director's office that are more than willing to help you with anything if you need it. So saying that, is there any nominations for assistant secretary?
Nominate myself.
Okay. So Commissioner Lynn has nominated herself for the position of assistant secretary. Is there any other nominations? No? Okay, seeing not, are you guys are sure? You can definitely put yourself out there. Okay, Esther, do you want to say anything on behalf of your?
I can say that I can definitely try my best, as I have taken on secretary roles in like multiple internships and in student body government. So thank you. Yeah, I hope to try my best.
So moving on to the voting portion, everybody who supports, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody who has objections, please say nay. Okay, so our new assistant secretary is going to be Esther Lim, and then just going over the positions that we elected today. As chair, we have me, Chair Campbell. First vice chair is going to be Bronson Azama. Second vice chair is going to be Lindsey Millard. Our secretary is going to be Clark Duran, and then our assistant secretary is going to be Esther Lim. So I would like to call this portion of the meeting to close. And then moving on to the permitted interaction groups. So if you don't know permitted interaction groups, because we as a commission have to follow something called Sunshine Law, which everybody that works under the city has to obey, and that's just saying you're not going to interact with other commissioners kind of to go around the rules and have undue influence on what happens in the commission. So to prevent that, we started something called permitted interaction groups, or PIGs for short. So we have 5 PIGs currently, one for finance, education, defueling Red Hill, youth intervention, and youth trafficking. And these PIGs meet whenever they feel so necessary to, and just every meeting, these PIGs have an opportunity to share if they discussed, if they had any updates that they would like to share with the rest of the commission. Yeah. So if you have any more questions on PIGs, please ask me. I know I was very, very confused about the concept when I first started. So yeah, if you have any pressing questions, please definitely ask. And then I believe that we were also going to get a presentation.
Yes, again, I want to apologize. We intended to have a member of Corporation Council come and give a presentation on ethics and Sunshine Law. Unfortunately, due to scheduling conflicts, they weren't able to make it to this meeting. So the plan is for them to give the presentation at the following meeting. So sorry that we weren't able to get that to you this meeting, but again, in the interim, if you guys have any questions regarding PIGs, Sunshine Law, again, feel free to reach out to me or your senior commissioners, and they can help you out.
Mm-hmm. So starting, I actually don't know if all of these PIGs exist anymore, because the bulk of the members of the PIG were actually old commissioners. So we will definitely have to reevaluate that at the next. We can do it now. Okay. So, is there any members of the finance PIG here today?
Yeah, I think us
yeah.
two. Us three,
Us
right?
3 were actually on the finance PIG. So, we actually created the finance PIG a couple months ago just to help out with doing the budget that we have from the city. So that was kind of an ongoing thing that we had, and we just sent out the budget request to the city. It got approved, and if you don't know, we have a $10,000 budget right now, and we split that up into fiscal quarters, so each fiscal quarter is divided evenly, and we have $2,500 in each fiscal quarter to use, which will also be brought up later on in the meeting regarding our spending for that. So I believe that we can have, how many members do we have? I think it's 85.
I think it's one less than quorum, I believe, right?
One less than quorum.
I mean, that's still pushing it, but like, yeah.
Okay, so 7. We can have 7 commissioners on each PIG, and we currently have 3. Is there anybody else that would like to join the finance PIG?
Can you be on multiple different
You
committees?
can.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I would love to join finance.
Okay.
I would too.
So Commissioner Carranza, am I saying that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. Any others? What was your?
Soon.
Soon, Commissioner Soon, and then Assistant Secretary Martin.
And I
So
think adding to discussion
Yes.
aspect, but like one thing to consider is finance is probably gonna morph into a committee, I'm assuming.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are. That's another thing. So we have permitted interaction groups, which are PIGs, and they're a little bit more informal. And then we, as a commission, we're also considering taking, kind of mirroring what city council is doing and having committees. So they're a little bit more strict, I guess you could say, in their meeting formats and how they operate. So since the budget and finance in general on the commission is such an important thing, we were talking about at last meeting morphing the finance PIG into a committee. So that would entail editing the bylaws to allow for that. That hasn't been done yet, but I can definitely take a stab at doing that in time for the next meeting, getting that turned into a committee. I don't think we have to vote on it.
Mm-mm.
That's not an official ruling, but yeah. So we currently have 6. There's room for one more person on the finance one. So if you're interested in doing budgeting and things like that, definitely join. Anybody?
I'll join it, yeah.
Opposed?
Commissioner Hall.
Okay. So finance PIG has reached its maximum. Moving on to the education PIG.
Could I make a recommendation real
Yes.
quick? So maybe before we go down each PIG, like if we could divert to like the commission bylaws really quickly,
Yes.
and then have then we can kind of evaluate what we can keep, what might be, so we don't
Easier to get rid
duplicate like our conversations.
Okay. That
Yeah.
sounds good. Let
Any
me pull up the bylaws.
anybody want to entertain a motion
Motion for what?
to divert down to the agenda to the bylaws?
Wait, what part of the bylaws are you talking
Yeah,
about?
what are you talking about?
Like because we
Oh,
have
to
like
go
a new
down
business,
to commission bylaws. Yes.
Yeah.
I see your
Yeah.
I see your thinking.
Okay, I'll make that motion to
Okay.
divert to the commission bylaws and new business.
I'll second that motion to jump ahead to the new business portion of the meeting. So, commission bylaws. Did any of you have a chance to read it or look over it? You all did. Did you have any? I feel like we should just start with questions. So did anybody have any questions that they wanted to ask? Questions. Okay. It seemed like the vice chair wanted to say something.
Yeah. So I'm
So
thinking.
go ahead.
Yeah. So just like sharing thoughts anyway.
Mhm.
Like, well, we might need a PIG to actually change the bylaws if we do want committees. So like, I'm thinking like Article 4 and then just move everything down, like Article 4 could be like committees and then outlining what kind of committees we'd like to see. So just opening space, like if anybody has an idea for like what kind of committees they'd like to see.
Okay.
And yeah, so like I know one thing we already discussed was like having a committee on finance.
Mhm.
But if other people have ideas to shift, like to start to add more committees, that we'd have to have that discussion too.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing for us to decide since we don't
Nothing
have like,
for
you know,
us.
the whole document, but like
Okay.
just discussion.
So if we wanted this, creating a PIG specifically for creating committees sound like a good thing to all of you all? All of you. I think it would be beneficial so that we can just talk outside of this meeting in regards to creating a new committee for finance or budgeting. So,
Yeah,
do we
and
need a vote?
no,
on the
well,
PIG?
we can, I think, vote when we go back to like permitted interaction groups.
Okay.
But as far as like the bylaws go, like some challenges that I see too, so if we're gonna form committees, we also should probably outline the process for how the chair is chosen. Whether it's the chair that decides like who's gonna be the chair for each committee, or is that something the body wants to decide? Like
Mhm.
those things should also be discussed when we do that PIG. So it's really
Okay.
just revamping the bylaws a bit to include all of that.
Yeah. So that's something that should be discussed within the PIG for finance. For committees. So.
And then also checking with Josh Them's capacity.
Oh
'cause
yeah, on how to.
Yeah, because one big issue, like, so the PIGs we formed in our first year
Mhm.
because it was like our workaround from having committees. Because committee, the only, like, one of the stricter parts aspect of it is it has to be public notice. Then we have to have like all the crew present to support us. So it's just extra straining time on those who are supporting us, taking the time to support us. So just all of those need to be considered
Mhm.
when we're making the committees, like which areas are really where we're gonna have a lot of impact. So versus like just having a meeting where we're not doing much, you know? So
yeah, like the
so like
PIG
those kind of
meetings.
things. Yeah.
Okay. So it seems like we're taking a good step right now in creating the PIG for the committee. And then since we do have to talk to the managing director's office about doing that, committees.
Yes, that's something I can
Okay.
ask
So
about.
that's something that the members of that PIG can have contact with the managing director's office and setting up a first meeting for that specifically.
And just one thing I'll point out for making amendments to the bylaws is,
Yeah.
according to your current bylaws, any proposed amendments need to be sent out to the commission 10 days prior to the meeting. So for the following meeting, if you have any amendments you'd like to propose, make sure you send those out to everyone prior to 10 days.
Alright, thank you.
So how do we write that kind of thing? Like just in an email or like a document that lays out what we're trying to amend?
So presumably any amendments you would write out as a document in the bylaws. So you would just, if you have the bylaws, you can make any changes there, and you would send out that as a proposed amendment as a document to everyone.
Oh, like revise the existing holdout?
Yes, that's
Okay.
that's my recommendation.
So,
Probably if you change something, just strike it and then
yeah. I know we did have bylaw amendments when we were writing in the budget. So that's something that we can mirror off of going forward. Was there any, since we're in the new business section underneath commission bylaws, was there anything else that we wanted to bring up regarding that?
The creation of a treasurer position?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. That was something we talked about, because prior to this year, we didn't have any budget, so there was no point of having a treasurer. But now, since we do, I think everyone from the past commission agreed it'd probably be good to have someone. even if we have like the finance committee, just someone kind of mainly in charge, kind of point of contact kind of thing. So that'll be another revision to work on. Or what do you guys think about having a treasurer position?
I think I think this is where it gets like nitty gritty into the differences between like a club and then like being like working with like from a government perspective. So like to me the chair of the finance should be looked at as like our treasurer, you know.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Kind of moving away from that. The city council has a treasurer. I don't think city council even has a treasurer position either. And I think if we're moving ahead with doing the bylaw amendments for having committees, I think that can definitely be taken care of within that committee specifically. And then that'll obviously be further outlined in the bylaws as to who is going to be the chair for each one of those. Okay. Anything else in the bylaws?
I think we can actually create the PIG under this section.
Under this section? Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody make a motion to create a PIG in regarding committees?
Or maybe just amending the bylaws
Amending.
suggestion. Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody make a bylaw amendment to include a PIG for committees? Is that
Sorry.
how would we
So
phrase
suggestion on the wording, just
Yes.
nitty gritty stuff,
Please.
but like just maybe like friendly, yeah, never mind, I'm not even gonna get into that. But just suggesting the motion to be like to create a PIG to look at amending the bylaws for committees as well as, or just, yeah, amending the bylaws at Legal General.
So motion to create a PIG to amend the bylaws. Is that good wording for everybody? Okay. Does anybody make that motion?
I motion.
Okay. Vice Chair Millard has made the motion. Does anybody second it?
I'll second.
So the motion has passed. In regards to creating a PIG for commission bylaws. Now going into the members of this PIG, who would like to join? I would like to say right off the bat, I would like to be on it. Does anybody else?
Yeah.
Who is that? Okay.
I'll join too.
Campbell.
Carranza. Duran. Azama. And then
Shimizu.
how many is that?
6.
6. There's still room for one more. Anybody?
No words.
How many are we gonna have?
7. 7 are allowed.
7
I mean,
PIGs? Okay, I'll do it.
oh, like 7 members.
Oh, sorry, how many PIGs?
Right now,
So is it, are we gonna keep the 5 and add this as like a 6?
I think so. Yeah.
Or that's what we can discuss.
That's what we
too.
can discuss
If
when
we
we
feel
move
like we don't want them, we could take it.
But we can have an unlimited number of PIGs. I don't think there has to be a number.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to clarify, the members of the commission bylaws PIG is going to be me, Nishina, Commissioner Carranza, Commissioner Duran, Commissioner Azama, Commissioner Shimizu, and Commissioner
Did I miss anyone?
Sui,
Sim.
Oh, sorry.
and Commissioner Sui. Okay. So that PIG is currently full. Does anybody make a motion to move back to the section on permitted interaction groups, to move out of the new business?
Before moving back to the
Do you want to do the
PIGs,
proposed spending now?
what was that?
Do you want to do item 1?
Oh no, I was just
Okay.
gonna tie into the commission bylaws again,
Yes.
real quick, and it's related to the PIGs actually.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if there's like any other ideas for like committees, in case like, so we don't need to like go over like the PIG.
The PIG
Yeah,
committees
again, like,
Okay.
cause like you could, I mean, we can discuss that at the PIG too, but like just like if there are like, so we don't like duplicate and then have like a bigger discussion on
back,
each
yeah.
like PIG. Cause like the way, like another thing that I could see is like if we made like a committee just on like, I don't know, like governance or something, like then we could tackle like Red Hill, youth intervention and youth trafficking, like within those committees too. But if we do need PIGs for them, that's fine as well.
Okay.
But just those layers. But other than that, if there's nothing else, then I'll gladly make the motion so we can go back to PIGs.
Okay. Did we want to think about that? Creating any other committees?
PIGs or
Committees. So those are more formal. There's going to be like a formal meeting announcement put out. The meetings will be held here with the managing director's office. So kind of like a mini youth commission meeting that'll meet in between meetings. If there's any suggestions.
Is the finance PIG gonna be possibly formed into a committee because of the size? And if that was so, would that mean since the new PIG had 6 members, 7? Would that mean
7.
that would
Mhm.
possibly form into a committee, or should that see how that would run out first?
So I think what we said was we had to create the PIG for commission bylaws because in order to create a committee, we need to edit the bylaws and have those passed by next meeting.
Yeah.
So right now, that PIG is going to take care of creating a committee in regards to the budget and financing. And then now we're just asking if there's any other committees that we would like to see
And
in
about
those
the,
new bylaws.
about the like number of people too, since they're both like
Oh, yeah,
approaching
right.
7. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's more just what kind of business it is. So I think with the finance one, we're thinking, especially because it's like a reoccurring thing. Like we don't necessarily, the PAGs could easily be like short term if it's for something like editing the bylaws. That's something we just want to do right here, right now. But yeah, the number of people is fine as long as it's under that 7 amount.
So any other committee suggestions? Okay.
Yeah, we can also like look at like homework too, is like look at what like the committees are under the
The
council
committees.
and
Okay.
for
I'll
the
put
PIG
that
meeting.
in. Okay, so would anybody like to make the motion to jump back up into the schedule into the permitted interaction group section?
So moved.
Are there any seconds? Second? Okay, so we're now back into the permitted interaction group section of the meeting. So I believe we went over finance. Did we go over education? I don't think so. Okay. I can speak about education just because I'm on that PIG as well, and I know there is going to be a lot of room on it. So we created the education PIG, I think 3 meetings ago. This was kind of anything dealing with education, really. So that was, we had one meeting, me and Commissioner Millard, because there was a bunch of other commissioners on it, but they've since left. And so at that meeting, we were able to discuss kind of our vision for what education is going to look like in Hawaii and kind of things relating to youth in that aspect. Obviously, because most of us are in school, just kind of our opinion on that. And then that's where the idea for my JPO resolution actually blossomed, was within that PIG and that conversation that we had. Vice Chair Millard, would you like to add anything about that?
Just that as we were meeting at least, we're keeping it really broad. So like some of our things we discussed were regarding like student safety, some is more like curriculum, but just anything dealing with education as a whole and like student life. So yeah, if you're interested in like things, issues you see at your own school or like on a more large scale level too, that's the place to kind of talk things out. And then also just in general, like the PIGs, as we're saying, are like kind of casual. So I like using those as like a brainstorm space. People you know are passionate about the same idea, you can kind of talk story and get ideas. And then from there, like draft resolutions if you have any, or just like support each other if someone else is doing a project on it. But yeah, it's a cool one. I think education like ties into a lot of stuff, especially as we're youth commission, like serving our constituents, which are mostly all in school. Yeah.
So I believe there are 5 openings on the PIG currently. Does anybody want to join that? Okay. So Commissioner Shea, Commissioner Shimizu, Commissioner Ho, Commissioner Soon, and then Commissioner Lit. So that brings us to a total of 7. Okay, 7. That's perfect. And then, also I forgot to add, all of these PIGs, they each have their own group chat, and we use Signal in the Youth Commission. So that's something that I'll be adding you all to and sending you the links. And then you'll also be added, if you join a PIG, to that individual PIG as well. Okay, moving on to the third one, the PIG for Defueling Red Hill. I know Vice Chair Azama, you were on that. Do you have any updates?
Yeah, only update is like I think the CRI just started for the EPA, so that's like the Community Representative Committee, Community Representation Committee. So that's something I'm gonna be attending that meeting tomorrow night. So I'm not on the CRI, but I'm still like tuning in to see what's going on. But I believe like everybody who was on it actually left. So if anybody else wants to be on Defueling Red Hill PIG, which started when everything went down, that's open. Or is Clark, are you on that one too?
I believe me and
Commissioner Millard. Yeah, got it. We just need to get better communication. That's my bad. Okay, 3 of us. Cool.
Does anybody want to join that?
Yeah, I'll join that.
So Commissioner Carrera. Anybody else?
Sheena.
Oh, and one more.
What was your last name again? Shay.
Okay.
And then Clark, you want to stay on it?
Sure.
And then, sorry, I think I'm actually going to remove myself from that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's 5.
So there's 5. There's 2 more spaces. Anybody? Okay. Moving on to the PIG for Youth Intervention. I know that was something started a little while ago. I don't think we have met regarding that PIG. I know I'm on it. Were you on it also?
Yeah, I was on it too.
Do you want to make a motion to? Do you want to keep it?
We should probably
Keep it?
Yeah, we should probably keep it. So
Okay.
that one was actually started by one of the one of the first commissioners, and it was intervention was regarding like how to make a pipeline out of youth to prison, because that was like a big problem that we're seeing, especially in like the in like Waianae communities. So borrowing from like some work that happened on Maui regarding like culture-based programs where they could actually like remove like first-time offenders out of like actually jail time and being charged and having it on the record. So that's something we probably should revitalize conversations around.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely something we can do. Probably tonight even is revitalizing that PIG. Does anybody want to join?
Yeah.
Okay, so Commissioner O,
Yeah.
and then Commissioner Carranza, and then Commissioner Assistant Secretary Durant. And then Azama. Last one for the PIG section. We had the PIG for youth trafficking. Were you on that? You were on, I think I'm also on that one too. I don't think we've met either for that one. Is that something, do we want to morph that into the youth intervention?
That sounds great.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I am making a motion to dismantle the PIG for youth trafficking. Does anybody second?
Second.
Seconded? Okay, great. And then that'll kind of morph into the conversation regarding youth intervention.
Oh, can I join
Yes.
the PIG for youth intervention if that's the case? Trafficking is
Yeah.
getting more.
You totally can. So, mm-hmm.
Did
Okay.
anyone else want to join now that those two are together?
If there's space.
Yeah, I think there's one more.
I'm Sheena.
Sorry. Okay. Other 7.
So, as far as the PIGs that I'm on, I'll definitely make a move tonight to create those group chats on it, and then also get the new commissioners the invite to Signal to begin with. So, unless there's anything else anybody would add, I would like to declare this section of the meeting over. Yeah. So, moving on back to the new business section of the meeting. So we already kind of discussed commission bylaws. Another thing that I had added to the agenda for this section was the proposed spending for fiscal quarter 1. So I had some conversation with the managing director's office regarding this spending. So as I said earlier, we currently have a budget of $10,000, and then in order to actually use that budget, we had to split it up into fiscal quarters. So at the last meeting, we decided that we were going to split it evenly into $2,500 for each quarter. And so the fiscal quarter ends, I believe, in October, early October, late September. So we kind of had to get a move on to using that money, because if we don't use money in a certain fiscal quarter, it'll roll on over, but it won't roll over into the next quarter. It'll go all the way into quarter 4. So we won't be able to use like leftover money from quarter 1 in quarter 2, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Okay. So I know the old commission was talking about getting a computer, tripod, and an iPad for the commission. So the computer was supposed to be used to do live streams of our meetings, but since now we have the Olelo set up, I'm not sure that we really need that anymore.
No, yeah, I didn't think it was too necessary.
Okay.
Unless, I know Commissioner Moniz was talking about like if we go out and about, maybe we would have the need for it, but I can't really think of anything besides a phone, and then secretaries can bring their own laptops.
Yeah.
So I think that one wasn't too necessary.
Besides that, I had that budgeted out, but we don't need that anymore. I had put 200 towards lay. I think around 100 of that got used.
So the lay is actually the mayor's office.
Oh, the mayor's office.
So,
So we didn't
The
spend
lay's
any
not-
of that.
Thank you, Mayor's office.
Thank you, mayor's office.
Gotta have something else.
So we
Really
now
late.
have this full 2,500 to use for quarter 1. we should probably decide on what we're gonna use that for this meeting. If anybody had any suggestions, we'd love to hear it.
I think back to what we talked about in the past meetings,
It's-
because there were some ideas, but I guess we didn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
say it was quarter one.
The other thing is like, we'd have to talk about like the process too, I'm assuming, like how the money is spent. Like, is it a resolution or a bill or?
I think it's more
So I think obviously you should all be in agreement, so if you wanna vote on how to spend the money, that's fine, and then whatever you decide, you can submit in writing to myself or
Okay.
whoever else in MPS office and for me for purposes.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so kind of the same process that I had done to do the land, except we didn't actually use that money. So I know in our budget draft that we had sent the city council, there was a section included for like t-shirts or jackets for the commission. Since now we kind of have this money laying around and it won't roll over into the next quarter. If that's what we want to spend it on, because I know the city council and managing director's office, they have those jackets if that's what we want to do. I just can't think of anything else that we would spend it. Do you have anything?
Yeah, I have a suggestion too. I mean,
Yes.
if we want it, and this is just for everybody to consider, is I believe like in the resolution when we did push the budget, we also included like a mini grant section. So if we wanted, we could like just give like $250 to 10 different youth organizations, or like a make-up application process too. Because you know, start of the school year, I'm sure some clubs are planning things, and like that's an option too.
That's a good point.
We
Is that
also,
something we can even do? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that you'd be able to just make
Yeah.
donations,
I'm
I'd have to look
thinking
into options.
that, like,
Okay.
Usually it would have to be, the money would have to be spent
Yeah.
for
For like the commission.
the commission, some
Yeah.
activities the commission's gonna itself, not necessarily.
I mean, another suggestion is that we're so new into this, that we just have a really large budget for fiscal quarter 4.
Yeah. That's kind of also taking a gamble though, because then we might be stuck in the same position that we are right now, of not having any money, of not having anything to spend it on.
Yeah, I remember last meeting when we talked
Yeah.
about like would it roll over, that was a big part of the discussion, because like we'd have to spend all from that quarter and then we could possibly pool from previous quarters, yeah.
When is the physical year end?
Fiscal year, I believe that's in October. It's October, right? The quarter, fiscal quarter.
Or when this quarter ends?
Yeah,
September.
Next month.
September, yeah, September. And then the year ends in July, June. And we definitely wanna use the money, we don't wanna leave that go to waste. Just because we fought so hard for the money. So, does anybody else have any?
Would it be before our next meeting?
Yeah.
So it would have to be proposed.
Probably propose now, because by the September meeting, by the time that rolls around, it'll be too late to use the money for that quarter, and then we wanna have a discussion about it, kind of approve it with the whole commission before we make purchases, cause it's kind of it's like all of our money, right? It's not one person deciding what we're gonna use it for.
Welcome to the commission, everybody.
Welcome to the commission, where decisions take a long time to make. So,
What was the other things proposed for the first quarter? I think you said earlier.
oh, the other things, what I had drafted?
Yeah.
I just did lay, computer, tripod, iPad.
Did you have any of the other
I
things?
could have done the iPads, take notes, like for the share, like vice chair to take notes of me, but do we even need that? Do we wanna buy a commission iPad? That could be something we could do. I mean, even that, I had looked into the cost of that. That could like run, like with the whole iPad, pencil, keyboard, that would probably run like $800 around there.
What would the purpose of that be?
That was something like how we had said to do the Instagram lives and kind of that kind of stuff. But now that could just roll into something that, like the executives. Also, that's the term we use for people, like assistant secretary, secretary, vice chair, chair. We use the term executives for that. So that could be a device that the executives could use at the meetings to kind of take notes on that. I mean, and you saw like we put out a lot of emails, trying to use that. Do you have a device?
Yeah, I have a MacBook on my phone.
Okay. You do? Okay.
I like the idea of just getting merch kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, what do you guys?
What do you think?
I mean, I hate to use it for ourselves first, but
We can.
but just because I think our goal too for this year, and I don't think we'll be able to do it in this first quarter yet, but is to do like outreach stuff at schools and public meetings. So I think having some kind of uniform would be nice for those.
Or business cards.
Yeah, that wouldn't be expensive either.
Probably do
to
both.
We could probably do
Yes.
both.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's probably the best one.
I
Yeah.
think that's a good starting point.
I was kind of hesitant. I'm like, I didn't want to be like, I want jackets, but I think that would be really nice. And then last term, a lot of us went to the mayor's town hall and kind of spoke on behalf of the commission. And it would have been nice to all be like, have something matching. So, is that something we're all good with?
So did we want like polo shirts or jackets, like you were saying? Jackets? Have you looked into the cost of them?
I did. I think they were like 57. Do you know how much they were?
Like the ones we have in the
Yeah.
Canadian director's office, I think were 40 or 50 depending on which
Okay.
you got like fleece or just as a material.
Perfect.
Or do you have leftovers that we can just
I don't think we have left.
So like,
You probably
Really?
ours just have managing director. Like, you guys
Yeah.
probably want your own
Youth
piece
Commission.
logo, I imagine.
so even at the very max, that's what 60. So times that, how many commissioners? 13.
Still a little over half.
If you have 50.
And business.
That'll give 900. So
And any other ideas?
It's-
Is that including the business card idea?
that's not. So I think we can budget out like 900 for that.
The business card might be a lot less. but
Yeah,
I
that'll
don't-
probably be like their max.
That's
200. Not even. I'm just pulling numbers. Okay. But so that leaves us just the jackets alone. If we budget out 900, there's 1,600 left
Is
to
that a
use.
comfortable estimate that we're not gonna?
I don't think we're gonna go.
Yeah. All right.
I would hope we don't go over that. What do we want to put down for business? Do you know how much? Are we each like getting our own little? I think that could be
Yeah,
nice.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how much, like,
I mean,
maybe like 300 at the most. Like, cause for ASU, sorry, I'm also in ASU,
Yeah.
which is the student government organization for the university. But we put like, I think only like 200, but, and there's quite a lot of them. Normally everybody gets like 50, I think, so
Okay.
that like
we
impacts like how
want
much
it?
you wanna go.
You said 200 was the dollar amount? Or
Yeah.
okay.
It's really small.
Okay.
Let's push it up like 300 if you
Okay.
want. Just,
So we can push
but I
that.
don't know, maybe you have more ideas than that.
Yeah, business cards shouldn't be too expensive, but I wouldn't worry about too much. Like we'll make sure we'll let you guys know if you're about to go over
Okay.
Okay.
things. Well, if you need us to know when we're purchasing, we can let you know how much it's actually going to cost.
Okay. So that leaves us at 1,200. I was sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna ask, is there any like other necessities we can think of in terms of media besides like the devices you guys were talking about that might
which I believe is necessary.
How much recording while we're not in a meeting are you predicting?
Hmm?
How much are you predicting we record, say, on our phones when we go out? That's not in a
We
meeting.
don't really do that.
So
we
for
don't
like
do
we don't do that. Just because that's not recorded.
Or like
And
a
then-
town hall.
Olelo, we haven't been, the mayor's office has been taking care of recording that. And then Olelo is free, by the way, in case you guys didn't know that. So we're very grateful for that. I think I was
It's a
talking.
small. Does anyone have a tripod?
No.
Because I think that's one
Can I
thing,
add
and
that?
it's cheap.
Okay.
But yeah, I always just
Okay.
prop it up on something random. But I think especially if we go out and about having something for sure.
Alright,
Even
I
as-
think I had looked. I think they were like 50 when I had looked. Before this meeting, I was talking to Krishna, and he said he was gonna hopefully be able to come to the next meeting to do like a presentation on like kind of the city council and stuff. It might be nice to have a lay for him, and I think we were supposed to have one other speaker, so I think maybe we should keep the lay budget. Right, unless that's gonna continue being covered by me.
No, that's fine, you guys can purchase lace.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm so Chinese, but
Okay, we can keep the lay budget.
Is that 200?
200.
No, what was
Is it cheaper to make a lay?
How much was it?
Yeah.
but and it's a lot anyway. It's a whole other cultural story. But the other thing I would consider is like also budgeting like boosting Instagram posts. Cause yeah, because then we're gonna need to like not only enter everybody in, but like we could also boost it, right?
Yeah. How much does that even? I've never tried that.
But we can look into that. And then like only boost whatever is
Yeah,
within the
whatever goes
budget.
there, yeah.
Good idea.
I just
Cool.
googled it. Average cost per click falls between 50 cents and $1.
No.
No.
We'd have to look into that one.
Do we
Yeah.
wanna just like send it? Oh, you can. This article says you can spend $100 to promote a post.
I'm sure there's different options depending on the
Okay.
budget, like how many days they'll boost it.
That
whatever.
sounds really good. Even, I mean, we were gonna put out a new post for the swearing in and this first meeting. We could even boost that just right off the bat. So how much? How much do you guys wanna? Do we wanna do that? We have the money. We definitely have the money. Is everybody?
Would we have to make those posts before do we have
Before
a
s-
deadline for those posts, or would it be throughout the year?
Probably.
Probably
Because-
deadline, like this is
yeah,
just
it's
the
just-
introductory post and everything.
Yeah. Do we want to set aside 100 to get us through all this
I
cover?
would put more actually. Yeah.
Okay. How much are we like talking? We're at 1,350, and we have like 1,200 more to go.
I put the 350.
350?
What? How much do we have more to go? Sorry.
We're the total. Okay, so I did.
Yeah.
Huh?
1150 left.
1150 left.
That's 350 is what we spent right now.
How many posts are we predicting we make within the month?
One for each of them is already considered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be weird if I do that. Somebody sends it to me for my ad.
It might be kind of nice.
Honestly,
See yourself on an
the-
ad? No, that's a waste of money. We can't do that.
Please don't.
Yeah, I was like,
get more engagement.
yeah, I was saying that. You guys wouldn't want to be boosted personally.
No.
Yeah, okay, we'll scrap that. But honestly, the only things we have then is like today's swearing in, announcement for next meeting.
Oh, that.
It's a good one to do.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So it's just those two that are like for sure. If there's anything else, it'd be like
Like your shirt thing?
Oh, good
Oh,
idea.
yeah.
I think that's good.
Good idea. Okay, so that's at least 3.
And it was 100 per post.
I think there's
We could
different
put it
rates
100.
for it.
We're gonna be famous by then. We're gonna be putting in the money. Okay. And that like relates back to like the whole thing that we wanted to do as a commission was get it more known and out there.
We can
Just-
see how it goes.
Yeah. Okay. Do we want to put in like 300 for that?
Yeah.
Good. 350? Oh
Yeah, that's a good point.
Taxes. Okay. That's 1,700 right now. Josh, do you have any suggestions on what to do here? I think we asked for too much money.
I mean, again, you don't have to spend all, like,
Okay.
you said, it'll just roll over into final
Yeah,
quarter.
another.
T-shirts and jackets.
I don't know, yeah, it's kind of short notice if you're going to plan any other, like, outreach events or something like that.
Hats, jackets.
I mean,
I support a rollover.
because the quarter ends in September, so, yeah, we could still potentially come up with things between
That's
now
pretty
and
good.
then.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess as long as you let us know before the quarter ends, we have time to put this thing.
We said $100 aside for Tules.
Yeah. Even that is like pushing it.
I think that's
Like extravagant.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think
that's
that
extravagant.
might be better put if we made it. I think that's also a good representation, like you said, of we're in the
Okay.
Honolulu Youth Commission,
Okay.
and so
Can do that. Can scratch that. So that puts us 1,600.
We were talking about another clothing item.
No.
Hey, I'm not opposed to it because, well, for me at least, I'd like us to go to some other community events that are like more casual, like community service type, and so a T-shirt might be a
I think
good one.
what type of jacket were we thinking?
Like the one that the mannequin offers.
It's
Like
kind
the
of like a
It's like the big.
Oh, the rack jacket.
It's not a rain
It's
jacket.
like a bomber.
If you guys want to see.
Yeah, can you
Yeah.
It's like
So I
a
know
bomber style.
It's like it's how you want it.
See, I just like taxpayer dollars when they're like that. But that's just me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless
if
we have
we
other
can't do
ideas.
that.
I'm just trying to think because I think the rest of the quarters nothing for us
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
But
It's just like rough because like I remember like the part of how the discussion for like creating a budget rolled out was because we didn't have money for a town hall. But I mean like the people who wanted the town hall are no longer here anyway, so
yeah, there's
Yeah.
some chance to do.
yeah, we could.
We
Yeah.
can do that next.
Yeah, like I don't think we have time to
quarter.
coordinate that. But yeah, all the other
That
quarters.
was for the Zoom town hall.
That's pretty casual.
Yes.
And modeling.
Josh is modeling for us.
What's that?
You guys have polo shirts and t-shirts too?
I think in the managing director's office, we do have some polo shirts that we use when we're doing activities.
I think I have the city
So
council.
this is what our guide looks like.
I like
Polos
this.
sound good.
So,
Yeah,
That
looks
looks
good.
Polos. And I was also more support for the polo idea. I was thinking about having us go to our, because I don't think the mayor is doing town halls anymore, and I think that was a
Yeah.
great opportunity for us to get like exposure into our community. So I was thinking we could replace that with neighborhood board meetings. That's something we want to think about. I can send out emails tomorrow about going to those.
How often are those?
Once a month.
Does that sound like something we want to do?
What?
The way town halls kind of worked was we had like a whole Excel spreadsheet of all of the town halls and like what neighborhood they were in, and then you kind of just signed up saying if you're gonna go or not. And then if you put your name down, then the old chair, who was Daniel Pruder, would reach out to the mayor's office, say that we were gonna be there, and then the mayor just had us come up and take the microphone for a little bit and kind of give like a little impromptu speech and then answer questions that community members had for us.
Would we need any money for neighborhood boards?
Those are
weaving into that, so one of the older resolutions that the commission passed too, which was regarding like county district park and like fixing up some of the issues that people were experiencing in the community. So myself, I remember Commissioner Coleman couldn't make it, so we presented at the neighborhood board, so that entailed us meeting with their executive committee and then being put on the agenda. So if you wanted to do something formal like that, those are all things to think about when you're doing your neighborhood board.
Okay. I can send out emails tomorrow about that. Thanks, I got it.
Oh,
You guys are appointing council.
I don't know how much they cost, but we can find out.
Oh, look at that.
So it's basically kind of same thing, just
Yeah, we have t-shirts also, so I can find out how much they are.
Do we like that?
I think that's a little excessive. The purpose would be for a more casual thing, and that jacket is fairly casual.
Okay.
I like it, but instead of you guys buying my stuff, I'll just buy it.
Okay. We
Is
have
that
the
an
money,
option
Dad.
to like buy your own if you want?
I mean, I'm cool with money rolling over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we cool with money rolling over? Okay. So, go over it one more time. Oh, it's only 6:14. Dang. Okay. What we have down right now, business cards, we put out 300. I doubt we'll use that all. Jackets, we put down 900. Tripod, 50. Instagram boosts, we put at 350 for a total of 1,600, which means that like what 900 is gonna get rolled over into fiscal quarter 4. Is that good with everybody? Okay.
I do have a question actually
Yes.
now, because sorry, my
Go
ideas
ahead.
usually
No,
come at
keep.
the end.
Yeah.
But like, does the youth commission even have a logo?
I think we do. On the website.
I mean, I see it on the website, but like, was that something I don't remember ever accepting that. So,
yeah, I don't know if that's something you guys design or not.
that could be something we invest into, branding.
Yeah. Okay. We can look at that as well. Maybe design. I don't even. Can we even do that? Because aren't we like subject to the city and county of Honolulu? Like, aren't we like a subgroup of that? So can we even branch off and do our own thing? I don't think we can do that.
That's something I'd have to look into.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
A rollover issue, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, so rollover is good with everybody. Correct? Okay. So I'll send out emails to get those purchases made. And then I believe that's everything we had in the new business section. So I would like to call that part of the meeting to a close, and then our determination to have the rest of the money roll over. So, moving on to the next agenda item, which is future agenda items. So I kind of touched on this earlier, kind of having an orientation and an introduction for all new members, and then a refresher for returning members about having going over how the city and county works, and then also on resolution writing and sunshine law, just because I know that new commissioners might not know too much about writing resolutions. I know at least for the first resolution that I put out, I literally copied and pasted an old one and then changed the sentences, but to get the formatting and everything correct is a little bit difficult. So that's something that we're gonna include in this September meeting, provided we have somebody that can do it. Like the workshop on how to, like, city
Yeah.
ordinance. and
Yeah,
stuff.
we'll definitely try to
Okay.
something.
And then I talked to Christian, he said he could do something on, like, city government, how that works.
Okay.
Then maybe
yeah.
somebody else
Yeah,
on sunshine law?
we can confirm when
Okay.
we hear from the.
So I just wanted to put that out there, just so that new members don't have to worry and be like, oh my god, what's happening? But yeah, I think that's everything for this meeting. So closing out that section into the announcements section. So our next meeting is going to be here Tuesday, September 19 at 5:30 this time. It's probably going to end probably at the right time just because we have those 2 workshops to get through. So it probably won't end early, but plan for about 7:15. And then also keep your eye out on your email for invitations to Signal, the survey that the secretary is going to put out regarding the commission social media, and also an email, maybe a Google form for sizing and stuff that I can do for the jackets. Does anybody else have any announcements they would like to make?
Can I just meet with the new secretary and assistant secretary to kind of explain some stuff and share documents with you guys? Yeah, it'll be short.
Okay.
Thanks.
So I would like to now call the August meeting of the Honolulu Youth Commission to a close at 6:18 p.m.
Thank you. Nice meeting everybody.
Yes.